All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Khalid Nathan Aleem, the real estate bull. And today we're going to be talking about what else? Residential real estate. All right. What you need to know about buying a flipped house. All right. Flipping house. I want to flip a house. I want to flip a house. Khalid, I want to flip a house. Khalid, I want to make some fast money in real estate. Khalid, I want to flip a house. I want to flip a house. I hear this all day. People call me all day. Hey, I want to flip a house. Hey, I want to flip a house. I'm not flipping a house. I'm more into buying and holding as far as myself personally. Okay. Even though I have done flips in the past. But today we're going to do my opinion about this Philadelphia Inquirer article called. All right. Somebody's calling me here. What I got to do, I need to start this live over because sometimes it messes it up. But first, I got to put this on airplane mode. I think that's what happened last time. Give me 1 second here. Live. Put that up. Give me 1 second. I hate when it comes in. Usually I put this on airplane mode, but this time I must have forgot. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Are we back in business? All right, y'all, we back in business. All right, so again, we're talking about residential real estate. I'm talking about what you need to know before buying a flipped home. And again, this is an article in the Philadelphia Inquirer, all right, which is a local newspaper here. All right, y'all. So this was published on November 10th of 2021. All right. So the article starts off by saying that the business of house flipping looms large in American public imagination. Between reality television shows about the practice to infomercials promoting it as a get rich quick scheme, nearly everyone is familiar with the concept of buying, renovating, and quickly reselling real estate at a profit. And it's something that's in vogue. It's something that's in vogue in American culture, if you want. That's one of the reasons why you've seen home prices skyrocket, because it's like everybody is now trying to get into real estate. Okay. So let's keep on keeping on with the keep on. So again, we're talking about, I'm doing an opinion about this Philadelphia article, and we're talking about buying a flipped home. So this article says that, like many businesses in the pandemic, house flipping has slowed this year, representing 4.9% of all home sales nationally in the second quarter of 2021, compared to 6.8% in the same period last year, according to ATOM, which is a real estate data tracker. Even so, the median price of homes flipped in the second quarter reached an all-time high of 267,000 nationally. Okay, so again, we're talking national here. We're talking nationally, and some of this is going to get into local news. Real estate is super, super local. Okay, even terminology in some places, and I know this, of course, from being a realtor, being in real estate for a number of years, but even terms will be different in different places. They have different requirements in different places. So you got to take, when you're talking about real estate, you got to take national news with a grain of salt, because it can be totally different where you are. Okay. So this is just saying that house flipping has slowed down. Okay. That's it. That's all that paragraph was saying. So the article continues to say flipping has been popular and profitable in the Philadelphia region, largely because of the availability of aging and distressed properties that can be purchased at a discount and sold at a premium. While the profit margin for flippers fell nationally to 33.5% in the second quarter, the return on investment in Philadelphia, which is what? 100%. 100%. Listen, I need y'all to like this. For that 100%, I need y'all to like this right now. If you in Philadelphia, I want you to like this right now for the 100%. Okay, the return on investment in Philadelphia ranked 100% in the second quarter. 100% when the national average was 33.5. And I just mentioned that real estate is super local. It's super local. So again, in the second quarter, if a person bought a home for they made 100% profit. I'm gonna say it like that. They made 100% profit. Okay, which ranks among the largest in metro areas. It's actually third. It's actually third. Okay, so while home flippers can afford good prospects for sellers, what about the buyers? So let's stop right there. So why is it getting so good in Philadelphia? Because we got a lot of old homes, we got a lot of abandoned homes, we got a lot of blight in these properties right now. And maybe I'll show y'all. I'm doing a rehab on a home, which I think is the worst block I've ever seen in my life. I ever seen in my life. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. This block is hideous. Somebody said it's only crackheads and drug dealers on that block. Okay. But if you go around the corner, or you go a couple streets down, you got $200,000 properties. You got $150,000 properties. So it all depends. All right. So again, flippers have been doing their thing, especially in Philadelphia. All right. So now this article is going to take a little change here, and we're talking about the home flippers having nice profits. Okay. But what about the buyers? So there is nothing wrong with buying a flipped house, said Chris Egner, who's the president of the National Association of Remodeling Industry. You can buy an old home and hire somebody to remodel it, or you can buy one somebody else remodeled and it's already done and you move in. It's called turnkey. The caution is that, like any other endeavor, there are some people doing work that are not qualified to do work. And I agree with Chris. Okay. It's an awesome concept. Let me take this off. I hate when this is on there. Dismiss. Okay. It's an awesome concept as far as, okay, I'm going to buy a home, fix it up and remodel it, an old home. Or somebody already does it. Somebody already does the remodeling. Okay. So, but yes, a person has to be cautious in this, because you have to be cautious in almost anything, right? But some people are doing the work that are not qualified to do the work. Now, somebody might say, okay, what does not qualified mean? Because a lot of us in the hood, hey, it's qualified folks over there. Now, they may not have a license, okay? And some people call them jackleg. It's funny. Hold on. They call them jackleg when the work is not good, but they call it a come up when the work is awesome. Bam. Give me a like for that. Give me a like for that. I need y'all to like this right now. I need you to like this and share this out. In the hood, if somebody does work, they're doing remodeling, they may not have a license. But again, if they do it bad, it's called a jackleg. But if they do it good, it's called a hookup. All right, y'all. So the article continues. So how do you figure out whether a pretty house with new paint and granite countertops is a great deal or a lemon? Here's some strategies for home buyers. So this article is going to talk about some strategies for home buyers as far as how can they differentiate between this new house that they're going to see. Is it a great deal or is it a lemon? All right. I need y'all to hit the like button for the algorithm. Hit the like button for the algorithm, please. I'm gonna wait for y'all to do that. Hit the like button for the algorithm. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So it says how to identify a flip. All right. As a general rule, a flip usually is going to be vacant. And this was said by Bruce Baker, a North Carolina-based home inspector and the president of American Society of Home Inspectors. A flip is going to have fresh paint, at least on the inside, probably new carpet, probably granite or quartz countertop, and a new sink in the kitchen, but with old cabinets. That's also a dead giveaway. So this is according to Bruce. All right. This is according to Bruce. Um, of course, not all vacant houses are flips. Another way to check to see when the house was last sold through the local government records or real estate websites, such as Redfin and Zillow. If the house was sold less than 6 months ago, there's a good chance that it's a flip. So flips aren't necessarily bad. And in the article, they're going to say that it's not that flips are necessarily bad. Okay. So, but what he's saying here is saying, okay, how do you know? How can you tell if it's a flip? Now, in Philadelphia, it's kind of easy because Philadelphia is so old. Most of the time, when you go inside a home, you'll definitely know from, okay, this is a flip because everything is new. Everything is new. But in some areas where homes are newer, like maybe in Texas, Arizona, everything could be new, but that's because it was built 2 years ago and somebody moved it and now they're looking to leave. Okay. So it all depends. So what he's saying is, hey, if you in the house and it has a new kitchen and a new cab or new kitchen, new countertops, new sink, but the cabinets are old, he's saying that this is a giveaway that it's a flip. Or what you can do is you can go on Redfin or Zillow. Talked about Zillow yesterday. You can go on Zillow and see when's the last time this was sold. And then you can go and see when's the last time it was sold. And if it was 6 months or less, then it's probably a flip. So Egner, who's also the home remodeler, Egner, who's also a home remodeler based in Wisconsin, warns customers to watch out for shoddy work and corner cutting. Often it's the work that the consumer doesn't see, plumbing, wiring, that will cause trouble if a flip is not done professionally. Okay, let's move on. If it looks like renovation work was done on the home before it was put on the market, prospective buyers should always look for work permits, which can also be found through local government. If a flipped home doesn't have permits, that may be a sign that the work was a do-it-yourself project. More importantly, it also means the work wasn't professionally inspected. Now, when a person does, just because it was professionally inspected doesn't necessitate 100% of the time that it's not shoddy work. Okay, it's just giving you more of a chance that it's not shoddy work because somebody actually came in and inspected it. So what this is saying is that when you go buy a home and you realize that, okay, this is a flip, then go see if you can pull the work permits, because the work permits should be public knowledge. It is public knowledge. So you should go and pull the work permits to see, okay, was this done with work permits? Why are you doing that? Because somebody has actually inspected their property. Somebody has actually inspected it, okay? Now, as a realtor, me putting off this is not a podcast, but putting off this show hat and putting on my realtor hat, it goes hand in hand. Because normally, if somebody has pulled permits, that's added extra costs into their rehab, which is going to make their price higher. That's the first thing. And then sometimes in competitive markets, there's no time for that. I'm not saying to do this. I'm not saying not to go pull work permits, but sometimes you don't have, if it's a very competitive market like Philadelphia, and if every house you go to, you're looking for permits, that takes time. And success loves speed, right? Success loves speed. So in order for you to get that house, you may not have time to do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying that you may not have time to do it. It all depends on the market. All right. So what this article is saying, it says, do your homework. All right. It says many flipped houses are wonderfully done with permits taken out, priced at fair market value, and representing a great deal for the buyer. Now, this was said by Lynn Sarvela, an agent based in Minnesota, okay, with the National Association of Realtors. But with the market we have now, with the shortage of inventory, buyers know what their money will get them. Right, right. And that's speaking the truth there, because she's saying, okay, because of the market, because there's a shortage of inventory, there's not enough houses on the market, then buyers know what their money is going to get them. So they kind of know, okay, I can get this type of house. Now, if this type of house is available, I'm jumping at it. And if it's at the right price, I'm jumping at it. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. Sarvella advises comparing the sales price to what the home last sold for, which is usually a matter of public record, especially if it was sold in the last few months. Does the work done since day was the work done since that day justify the price hike? Now, I do have a problem with this, because there's a difference between price and value. Okay, there's a difference between price and value. So the value of that home might be X, but the price might be something else. Okay, so it depends on the market, and that's why you really should be working with a professional, because you might go and look and say, wow, this house, they only bought it for $100,000, but they're selling it for $300,000. Right. Okay. What was done there? It may be just the price have maybe they did $100,000 of work. So now the value is $200,000. Okay. But the market price, because of appreciation, is going up to $300,000. So it all depends. That's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, it all depends. All right. It says if the sales price doubles, there better be a good justification based on the materials and amenities that were put into the house. Okay. Often buyers can find older pictures of the house they're considering online from when the house was sold before the flip. Okay. Ask the buyer's agent if they have experience with homes that have been flipped, Sarvella said, and as that early in the process. In Philadelphia, I think probably every agent has experience with flipped homes, because Philly just has a lot of flipped homes, man, just a lot of flipped homes. So it says one of the biggest benefits of buying a renovated home is that it's often move-in ready and won't need any significant work right away. The downside comes when that promise turns out to be false. If the buyer moves in only to find out, for instance, that the roof needs replacing, they got issues. And that's right. Okay, that's right. They're going to give you a remedy for that here soon. Okay, it says a lot of people don't have time to buy a home, move in, and then spend the next 6 months redoing the kitchen, bathroom, and whatever else needs to be fixed. Okay, if you can buy something that's move-in ready, that's awesome. What better way to reuse and recycle than to take an old, run-down house and turn it into a brand new, functional, and usable property? And people have made millions off this. People have made absolutely millions off this. You take a run-down home, you fix it up, and then you sell it. Okay. And this improves the neighborhood, doesn't it? It improves the neighborhood. It gives people more pride, because I forgot what it's called in psychology, but when it's in psychology, I remember reading somewhere that if you have a block and you break a window, you really should fix that window as soon as possible, because if that broken window stays on that block, then somebody else is going to see it and think it's okay to break this window and then break this window, and then the whole block is going downhill off that one broken window. Okay, so what's the remedy for that? All right, what's the remedy for? But first, I want y'all to push the like button for me. Please press the like button for me and share this out. Share this out to me with about 6 or 7 people, okay? Hit the like button for the algorithm, baby. Hit the like button for the algorithm. All right, so what can a buyer do? What can a buyer do? A buyer can get an inspection, all right? Once you've decided you're serious about a home and ready to commit to buying it, one of the most important remaining steps is to get a professional home inspection. Although this price, although this process can be pricey, inspections can ultimately save the buyer money by finding problems ahead of time and asking the seller to cover the cost of the repairs. If enough problems are found, the inspection can even be used for a prospective buyer to walk away. All right, so let me unpack that. Okay, so you get an inspection. The buyer gets it, the broken window theory. Bam! There we go. The broken window theory. All right. Now I'm going to remember that, okay, until I die, God willing. The broken window theory. That's it. All right. So if a person, when somebody goes to buy a home, they go and buy a home and they get a home inspection. And what happens is they hire that home inspector. So the home inspector works for them. All right. The home inspector works for them. So the home inspector goes through the home and he tears the home apart and he gives you everything that's wrong with the home. Now, this is not to freak you out. This is not to say, oh, I got a lemon of a home. No, it's just so you're aware of the condition of the home. Now, the home inspector can't go through the walls. The home inspector can't go through the walls. So he's going to check to make sure that the outlets are working, but he's not looking at the wiring behind the walls. He's not anything that's behind the walls. He's not checking. He's turning on the water to make sure that the water runs, to make sure it runs everywhere and that the pressure is good. But he's not going in there to see if there's any potential clogs or anything like that. So most of the time when you buy a home, there are contingencies in the contract, meaning that these are ways for you to get out of the contract. So a home inspection can be put in there. Most contracts have the home inspection contingency in there, meaning what? You can do your due diligence as a home buyer. You do your due diligence on a home, you do the inspection, and based on that inspection, you can leave or you can get out of the contract if you want. Because of anything in the home inspection that you don't feel or is not lit to you, okay? It says, I inspected a house last week with new paint on the inside, new carpeting, and kitchen countertops, but they hadn't changed the bathroom. Barker said recently, the water heater was older, the HVAC was older, the roof covering was at the end of its service life. Those are the kind of things some flippers will do. They'll do the cosmetic things that make it look good, but when you start digging into the details, that's when you start finding things are problematic. And he's right. You have some flippers that do cut corners. You have some flippers that do cut corners, but that's why you get a home inspector so they can inspect those things so you're clear on what's okay with the house and what's wrong with the house, okay? It also says that and the same level of scrutiny should be applied when finding the person who will inspect the home. When looking for an agent, you definitely want to look for things like years of experience, certifications, and a license if you're in a jurisdiction that licenses inspectors, Barker says. Years of experience is about the only objective standard that you can go by. If you've done enough inspections, you've seen most of what you're going to see. All right, so it says, and in closing here, it says, ideally, an inspection will be a simple process that finds only minor issues. Either way, it's better to know for sure than to find out later. Essentially, what you're buying with a home inspection is a peace of mind. And you're right. You're a realtor. I've bought houses. I'm in like 3 or 4 houses a day. Okay. I'm going in there and I'm looking at them. I've been in hundreds of inspections. I don't know. I don't know how that came through. I have no idea how that phone call. I have no idea how that phone call came through because I'm on airplane mode. So if I'm on airplane mode, how did that call come through? Strange. Okay. So yes, you need to get a home inspection. All right. You definitely need to get a home inspection. In a market where it's so competitive that people are waiving inspections like it is in Philadelphia, what I advise is for them before they put in an offer, get an inspection. before they put an offer in, get an inspection, and then put the offer in. So then it's as if it's you're waiving the inspection, but you've already had the inspection done. Okay. All right, y'all. So this article goes on to talk more about it talks more about the mortgage company, but I don't think that's relevant to what we're talking about now, really, as far as the home flipping. So again, what you need before buying a flipped home, and remember, please go to www.regroundzero.com. That's the real estate ground zero group. That's a group that I have going on. I'm currently there's a wait list. Okay, so go in and sign up for the wait list. When I drop this, what this is going to be a program for 3 types of people. It's going to be for people who want to buy a home, so I can teach them as far as how to buy a home. There will be a course on how to buy a home. There's also be a course on how to invest in real estate, and also a course on how to become a real estate agent. Okay, so again, that's www.regroundzero.com. All right, y'all. This is Khalid Nathan Aleem. I will catch you guys in these real estate streets. Take care.